This takes slacking off to the next level. This guy hid in a wealthy family's wardrobe for years. When nature called, he sneakily used their bathroom. When he got hungry, he slipped out while the owners were away to steal their leftovers, and after eating, he even washed the dishes. He managed to stay hidden for so long because, in a panic to escape loan sharks, he had recklessly crawled into an antique wardrobe on a moving truck and ended up hiding inside. Not long after, when he pushed open the wardrobe door again, he realized he was actually inside the billionaire's bedroom. Before he could figure out how to sneak down the stairs, he heard footsteps, so to avoid getting caught, he quickly dove under the bed. Soon, the couple came into the room. From their conversation, Jack overheard some good news. There were 2 wardrobes in the bedroom, and since they were currently using the antique one, the other was unused. Jack immediately got a bold idea. Nervously surviving the first night, Jack waited until the couple went to work the next day before emerging from under the bed. Afraid of being discovered, he pulled all the curtains tight, shaved with the husband's razor, took a nice shower in their bathroom, drank the milk from their fridge, and even sneaked some of the kids' cookies. After satisfying his hunger, he surprisingly started doing housework on his own. Strangely, he not only tidied the woman's bedroom but cleaned the kids' rooms and even fixed broken furniture, acting like a real homeowner. But at the end of the day, he was just a sneaky freeloader. What Jack did next blew everyone's mind. To establish a permanent hideout, he dismantled the spare wardrobe's door and transformed the inside of the antique wardrobe into a secret passage. After putting the clothes back, he hid in this secret base and began his freeloading lifestyle. Jack thought he was foolproof, but he had already left traces. When the woman returned home, she noticed the dishes she hadn't washed that morning were now sparkling clean, and the tea set was neatly arranged. At first, she thought her daughter had done the cleaning, but after searching the entire house, she found that her daughter hadn't come home at all. This totally confused her. Even stranger, every time she entered a room, she felt like something was watching her. When her husband came home, she immediately mentioned these strange things, but he dismissed her concerns, thinking she was having a mental episode or memory problems making her forget chores she had done. Hearing his dismissal, she stopped pursuing the matter. Jack breathed a sigh of relief, thinking he'd escaped suspicion. But the next day, a phone call from the woman made him nervous again. She told her mother she felt like someone else was in the house. Jack's hair stood on end. Just when he thought he was doomed, the woman suddenly changed her story, saying maybe her deceased grandfather had come to visit. This piqued Jack's curiosity, and he wanted to find out who her grandfather really was. After the family left, Jack sneaked open the woman's diary. What he read warmed his heart. It turned out the antique wardrobe was a gift from her grandfather. When she was a child, whenever she was sad, she would hide in the wardrobe for comfort. But as the saying goes, fear brings what you fear. The next day, the woman suddenly opened the wardrobe and crawled inside, just like she did as a kid. What she said next nearly scared Jack out of his skin. Just when Jack thought he'd been discovered, the woman started talking to herself about a man named Paul. From her monologue, Jack realized Paul was her childhood friend. They'd been close growing up and often hid in the wardrobe together to play. Later, Paul died in an accident. The woman had mistaken Jack for Paul's ghost, believing he was the one doing all the housework. She'd made him her emotional anchor. The next day, while Jack was doing chores, someone suddenly arrived. He didn't have time to hide in the wardrobe, so he pressed himself against the wall. It was the homeowner's daughter, Lisa, who'd skipped school and brought a boy home. Jack was terrified, barely breathing. But what happened next was even more shocking. Lisa pulled the boy straight into the bedroom. Jack knew exactly what they were doing, and it infuriated him. But he was just a freeloader with no right to interfere in their business. To avoid being discovered, he had to pretend he hadn't heard anything. That night, he couldn't sleep. By now, he'd started thinking of himself as part of this family, even viewing Lisa as his own daughter. Worried she was going down the wrong path, Jack came up with a plan. After Lisa fell asleep, he snuck into her room, grabbed her phone, and secretly texted the boy, arranging for him to come over. The next day, after everyone left, Jack waited. When the boy arrived, Jack pretended to be Lisa's father. He sat the boy down and came clean, warning him to stay away from Lisa or face the consequences. The boy immediately backed down, apologizing profusely and promising never to bother Lisa again. Honestly, Jack was acting more like the man of the house than the actual homeowner. That evening, when the woman came home from work, she stood in front of the wardrobe again, talking to herself, pouring out her heart. To her, the wardrobe wasn't just a place to store clothes, it was like a confidant who listened to her troubles. The next morning, Jack secretly took out some of the woman's clothing, lay on her bed, and hugged her pillow, which still held her warmth. He fantasized about embracing her. Even Jack himself wasn't sure if he'd fallen in love with her, but fate had other plans. Jack's actions from a few days ago nearly destroyed the family. Lisa blamed her father for breaking her up with her boyfriend, but the man had no idea what was going on. Lisa thought he was playing dumb, and they had a huge fight. Angry, Lisa ran away from home, and the woman had to take her to stay at her mother's place for a few days. Jack deeply regretted his interference. He felt terrible for destroying Lisa's relationship out of his own selfish desires. Then, he heard voices outside, a man and a woman, but it wasn't the woman of the house. Jack quietly pushed the door open to peek and was shocked to find the husband in bed with another woman. Listening to their disgusting sounds, Jack felt a surge of anger on behalf of the wife. That night, after the couple left, Jack crept out of the wardrobe. Staring at the messy bed, He made a decision he would teach this cheating bastard a lesson. Once they were gone, Jack went online and searched for ways to kill someone without leaving a trace. To his surprise, he actually found a method. It was simple. He took 2 plastic water bottles, cut them in half with a knife, placed some meat in the bottom, and inverted the top half over it. It was a wasp trap. Within hours, dozens of wasps were drawn inside. Jack then used thick smoke to stun them and dumped the entire swarm into the trash can. When the husband came home from work and opened the garbage bin, the awakened wasps immediately attacked, stinging him relentlessly. Within minutes, he was barely alive. Jack watched coldly from the side until the man finally stopped breathing. Just then, Jack heard the front door open. The wife was home. He quickly retreated to the wardrobe. By the time the woman discovered her husband's body on the floor, it was too late to save him. She had become a widow. After that, Jack grew bolder. He was no longer content hiding in the wardrobe. After the wife fell asleep, he would secretly climb into her bed and hold her while she slept. The wife never actually slept through it, but she allowed it to happen as if she had known about Jack's existence all along. In the end, Jack completely integrated into the family, finally ending his parasitic existence.